Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all having a good weekend, enjoying the football and this international week nonsense. Hope you're winning loads of cards. Quite a tough weekend, I'm finding in general. So, just one of those weekends, eh? So, couple of teams to highlight. Man City, pretty much doing the business. Bad captain choice there. Alvarez taking sets and stuff now. So there we go. That's just the way it goes. Hit the threshold in the cap 240, so can't really complain about that. Celtic finally getting a clean sheet, which is a start. Um, All Star was looking pretty good. Carlos Gill went off injured, so again that's a kind of difficult one. Liverpool finally keep a clean sheet with the guard rested. Um, List goes on. Joey Veerman subbed at half time. See if we can find some Celtic teams here as well. This one was looking really good actually. All Star Rare Plus, still be a card, but Leverkusen just conceded there too. So there you go. Sometimes you just get those weekends. Just doesn't really happen for you. Challenger Europe Rare Plus. Celtic keep a clean sheet. No goal from Furuhashi. Kinus on the bench anymore. There's definitely more. There we go. Sparta clean sheet, Kadioglu, two decisives, Celtic shit. So there we go. Anyway, we're on the Celtic theme. We're going to pick some Celtic teams for midweek. It seems to be the kind of Celtic midweek, to be honest. I think it's going to be a good one for us. People thinking why? Well, I think there'll be a lot of people that just won't really have many good teams for this weekend. This week, sorry, had the weekend already. So Hibs, Ross County at home. Hibs were pretty solid against Celtic. Celtic should have scored though, but there we go. St Johnstone, Kilmarnock. St Johnstone are pretty rotten. Lost their manager there as well. Celtic St Mirren, so that is a standout fixture. Rangers away at Dundee. Motherwell, Aberdeen. Aberdeen just lost away at Kilmarnock, so could be a reasonable home game for Motherwell and Hearts. Pretty good fixture actually, home against Livingston. A couple of Argentinian games, so Tigre. Don't think there's anybody in there that's actually licensed, which is interesting. So, you've got some players that have ended up in those clubs, but no one that's actually licensed. Corinthians are licensed, so we've got that. Atletico Mineiro were licensed before, but no sort of current cards, so nothing too much. And we've got a couple of Liga MX games as well. Toluca, Querétaro, Club Leon, Monterrey against Necaxa. So I think Necaxa are licensed, but away at Monterrey is pretty difficult there as well. Atlas, Club America away, and we've got Columbus Crew against Atlanta in this new playoff format for MLS. So Celtic's really the standout fixture. Obviously, people are going to be thinking here, where am I going to play my cards? Now, one thing I'm going to point out here before we start is that having the big Celtic stacks, etc., I'm not going to tell people where I'm playing my teams above limited. So I know that's a wee bit unusual because the whole point is to do strategy and everything here, and we'll go through it. We'll pick all the limited teams, but just giving away too much information this week. There are some divisions where I think people would actually quite like to avoid the Matt O'Reilly unique and the Furuhashi unique and all that type of stuff. So, given there's not so much on, then I'm not going to be giving that away. But what I will do is I'll talk through the strategy of playing these different divisions as well. So obviously, Challenger or All Star, that's the sort of question if you've got a Celtic stack, etc. I'm going to pick the play sharper stuff. I've not actually put that up yet, and I know I always talk about that, but we can have a wee chat about it when we're selecting these lineups. So the first thing to point out is that there's a lot more cards in All Star. So there's 2,316 participants in All Star, and 877 rewards, more Ethereum, and you've got 174 cards and $156 in Challenger Europe. I think the main sort of the main stacks that could sort of beat Celtic, obviously, in Challenger Europe are Hibs at home, Hearts at home, maybe Ajax, who are just pretty rotten, but they do have some players who could score pretty well at home if somebody wants to risk a sort of Ajax stack. So yeah, it is a pretty good weekend, and you could just go into Challenger, but I think for limited anyway, I think I was going to take the extra risk and go into the All Star. So when you see here, obviously people got like guys like Augustin Rossi and Celtic don't keep a clean sheet, then that would be ahead. I've got the Atlas goalkeeper as well, so that's interesting. But these guys obviously could play like in the caps and things too. I'm going to go Celtic in here. Then I've got to go strong on the sort of XP level and everything as well. So Joe Hart is the easy selection there. Liam Scales has been absolutely superb. So he could be a good differential type card. Not a lot of Celtic cards around. I think from my own point of view, then I'm going to go with Vickers just for the extra XP and everything here too. It's one of those things really, and it like you want to kind of maximise your chances when it hits. Midfield wise, so yeah, I do have an extra Riley which I could run in Challenger or I could run in under 23s if I want. I've not really looked at the 23s much, but we're going with the best team, so it's got to be O'Reilly. I think selection wise for Celtic, Hart in goals, Ralston or Johnson for right back. Johnson came off with a sort of facial injury, but Rogers said he was fine. I think Vickers and Scales pretty much picked themselves, and Taylor's not been rotated. Main issue in midfield is there's no Hatate, so McGregor and O'Reilly should be pretty nailed, I think. Maybe start managing their minutes soon. The other position probably going to be like sort of Turnbull or Bernardo. Bernardo played at the weekend, it wasn't really that good. And Furuhashi and Maeda come off early, so I think it'll probably be Palma, Furuhashi and Maeda. I just can't see how Furuhashi and Maeda don't start this game after coming off a bit early, so their minutes been managed a wee bit, and yeah, playing again at the weekend as well, but games are coming thick and fast. So with Furuhashi's selection in here, Furuhashi 8 has to be done. Cal McGregor actually does very well at Parkhead, so you're either here pressing the wrong buttons. So in this one here, you're if you've got a sort of Celtic stack, then you could go McGregor. If you've got Scales, you could go a Scales and play for the clean sheet. St Mirren are pretty good team, to be honest. I think they're sitting fourth at the moment, so I'm not going to be totally banking on the clean sheet, and there is only really one captain here, I think, who's Matt Riley. Now, the thing is, people can play against me in terms of these this stack. Somebody could just go the same stack or whatever, but you'll not have this same XP, so I can fire that in knowing that. If you don't have these sort of XP levels, then you could go for a differential. You could pick a Greg Taylor. You could pick Maeda, whatever. Furuhashi never scored the last game either, so it's one of those things. Have a wee look at the under 23s. So there's not very much on. So 333 cards, 755 entrants. So see the odds are stacked in your favour in terms of actually getting something midweek. So goalkeepers wise, I've got Shota for Columbus, so he plays against Atlanta. You have Will Dennis at Kilmarnock, Hemming at St Mirren. Ajax have got under 23 goalkeepers, so you've got Gorter or Ramaj. I think Gorter might be coming back, so that's kind of up in the air. And you've got Mio Bacchus at Volendam, so there's not a lot of choice. Obviously I'm just going to use Shota because I've got him, so I'm not really going to be messing about too much there. You'll see, even for me, I don't, I do have choice of cards here, but Bernaby and Kobayashi don't play. Stephen Welsh doesn't play, injured. Vital may well play. I'll need to look that up. Novrocky is injured at the moment, so maybe a team just to run out with. Sort of Celtic. If he has been rotated a bit, so he played against PSV and Ajax get hammered, so that's a difficult one. But I think probably I'll go with Vital, and then I'll check the information that's floating about on the Brazilian selections. Captain, well, it's got to be Matt O'Reilly. There's only really going to be one choice there. Again, forward wise, it's a very sparse midweek. There's not a lot of standout sort of forwards here. Abada's injured. Yang's not really been getting minutes recently. So I might be inclined actually just to go a mad one here and go with O. I suppose Furuhachi could be rotated a wee bit. I think it's probably unlikely that it'll be rotated, but O, either way, I think he'll go on at the end of the game. And then I'm going to go with Arn Malinas. So he's one of those cards I was talking about where, he's been at Boca before, he's at Tigre. They're not licensed, but they are covered. So, that's not the strongest 23s in the world, but I don't think you need to be strong this midweek. You just need to get 5 cards out, and you need a bit of luck, to be honest. I don't have anything for America. Cap to 70 limit is not going to be a priority for me. It's not had any really good scores so far. Like one good captain selection, not with other good scores. So I'll probably just play that weekends, to be honest, like just with the lack of cards. And with the choice I've got here, I can also go with a second Celtic stack, which is a nice luxury, and I can, just go with a sort of variation here. So I think, as I was saying earlier, might be one to wire in Liam Scales. I think that just kind of has to happen. Well, it doesn't have to. Could play Branko van de Boomen, so that's an interesting one. He did start and he scored today, but I just don't have any confidence in Ajax. Bernardo probably wire into cap to 40, so probably pick another Celtic Celtic teams everywhere. Cal McGregor, just can't see how I'm going to leave out Furuhashi. He's the main man in terms of scoring, and then in terms of players to go with him, I kind of made the suggestion actually earlier myself with Taylor. Definitely could be a game where the fullbacks get into the game a bit more. Some in are probably sit back, but I'd imagine that the centre backs at Celtic are going to get a lot of kind of easy possession. So I think from that point of view, just going to go something like that. So we're going to go with 2 defenders. Then I think maybe captain and Scales a good choice there. Kind of goes against the other selection where I've played Vickers, but it gives you a wee bit of variety. So that's obviously all on Celtic this week. I'm going to pick cap to 40 as well, and then I'll give you a wee sort of overview of what's happening in divisions above, but I'm not going to actually pick the teams. So actually I may well go with some sort of stack in the 270, see what we've got left after this. So I think Joe Hart, and I think to get under the cap, Bernardo, he has started game on Champions League game, excuse me, and he did start the game at the weekend, albeit it came off, so I guess he's kind of likely to play some part. In terms of guys to go with him, just going to be going all out sort of Celtic here. I think I'm going to just avoid Alistair Johnson just in case he's rotated. Looked a bit groggy and stuff, so I think the natural selection, given we've created a bit of, some points with using up Bernardo, and then it lets us do kind of Furuhashi, and then Maeda should be a nice slow cappy after no scoring at the weekend again. So sorry, wrong button. No game, meant to click affordable only there. So who have we got? Yeah, I could play Vickers in here actually, so that's pretty good. So I'm not really playing any Maeda at all, but there we go. I do think we'll dominate the ball, so I'm going to go with Vickers captain. You see his average is now shooting up, and that's, it really should be, because it was just too low because of the injuries and the like. So as I was saying, in terms of the divisions above, it's pretty difficult for me to enter All-Star Unique. It's tempting because there's prize pool, Star Super Rare up top, there's F right down to 4th place, Tier 3 Super Rare, etc. there as well. But in that division at the moment I've only got 4 sort of cards to enter, so I don't think everybody will be struggling in that division, but I really am not a big fan of putting in teams where it's not really that optimal, even though this is probably one of the game weeks to do it. All-Star Super Rare, so prize pool's really nice up top. This is the type of like tier 1 super rare you're playing for, you know. Imagine you win this division and you pop out a Camavinga, a Schlotterbeck, a Salah, you know, Rodrigo, Gavi, Tchouameni, injured now, I think. Ruben Diaz, also. I mean, there's loads of quality in there because it's the start of the season. So, you know, from that point of view, I think, you know, it's not the worst decision in the world just to avoid the divisions above, if that's what I do. You know, a star super rare would be pretty awesome. I mean, obviously then that puts you into this sort of range. I mean, like, so yeah, it's always tempting to try and have a go at those types of cards as well, but it's a strategy thing, and I guess, you know, getting sort of 5 guys out, 5 starters midweek for a team like Celtic, you know, is going to put you in a good position. So, you know, sort of back to here, you know, you see you've got 20 rewards in the All-Star Super Rare, 34 participants, and it's, you know, you've got F right down to, I think, 10th position here. Is it 10th position? Clicking the buttons too quickly. Price pool. Yeah, so you've got $140 that have F down to 10th, you know. I think this is the division Quinny will play as well. Quinny with his unique Callum McGregor. Quinny's an all-star guy. Having a look at other guys as well, you know, obviously at this point you've got to look at other guys who have similar holdings, etc. I know Monsieur Seguin has some Celtic uniques and things, so if I play him, if I go in all-star super rare and he plays in that division, then he can only put in 1 unique. Whereas, you know, if I go in all-star unique and he gets 5 starters, then he's automatically got a bit of an advantage on me. So he doesn't have a Matt O'Reilly unique, so there we go. But that only works if Matt O'Reilly does really well. And then on to the rare side of things, said I'm not really going to confirm final decision in terms of what I'm going to play here. So again, the interesting thing is Challenger Europe Rare Plus, you know, prize pool wise, there is a star up top, which is pretty good. The F levels are pretty low, so you'll see that they're a lot lower than the All-Star, which makes sense because there's other games on and things. It's not all about Celtic, but I think in terms of fixture and, you know, AAs and stuff, you know, Celtic have got the best chance. So you know, you have got a chance of star rare up here too. All-Star Rare Plus, you know, you've got 2-star rares, but are better Ethereum as well, so a lot more F. So that's interesting. So again, I've not decided what I'm going to do there yet. To my last minute decision, I think Challenger, you know, unless results really go against Celtic, is a really good chance of getting a card, you know. But at the end of the day, you do need a performance to get a top card. So, you know, I think it's about coming down to strategy. Cap to 70. I don't think I've got enough goalkeepers probably to enter here. And what I'm going to do though is we'll pick that to 23 Rare Plus. This is a division I don't see a lot of people entering this weekend. This will be the one differential. I mean, if Zach Hemming has the game of his life, then I've got something rolling in here. I bought Zach Hemming because St Mirren will be top 6, I think. He's got lots of utility coming up, and he was just way cheaper than a lot of other goalkeepers. Like, you know, it was like 300 quid, and Tobias Lawal was selling for like 500, and he's got a winter break and stuff. So there is a winter break in Scotland, but it's only like 3 weeks, whereas some of the other leagues have longer. I do have a super rare to play, so that's good. I don't have a Matt O'Reilly super rare, which is a bummer. I could go full differential and actually gamble on Turnbull starting, so that's an interesting one. I guess that would give me a bit of sort of cover there. That decision I think is going to have to be made based on what I'm doing with my other Celtic teams. I do only have one Joe Hart goalkeeper card, so I think I'll probably provisionally put O'Reilly in here for the 11%er, and then we'll see from there. Can't remember what other sites. I'm going to have to go back. Sorry about that. See what other goalkeepers I've got, because this has got to come into strategy, right? So Joe Hart, Raphael, Hemming. So I've got another goalkeeper for All-Star as well. So that's kind of interesting. So O'Reilly may well come out of there. I guess I could just run with the gamble, but yeah, I mean the gamble for um, playing Turnbull is to score against Hemming, so that's not, probably not the best in the world, but like, yeah, there's just not a lot of top super rare cards about. I mean, if people have got like Matt O'Reilly super rares and they put them in here, then fair play. So I guess I can kind of mitigate that. Leila Badit injured. Yang, don't really know if he'll start. Oh, we talked about earlier, might only come on for 10 minutes again, it's a difficult one. They're probably going to go to Hirovic. Like, actually, Van den Boomen started today. But yeah, Tahirovic has kept him out a lot. Tahirovic have picked this one up. So it's the forward card. Ajax have been rotten, but you have to expect they'll improve. Thiago Almada, I thought he was actually suspended. I'll need to double check that. I know you get a red card, but I thought he was suspended. Doesn't really show up here. But then I guess home game, Joseph Satalo, will his class shine through at some point? Difficult one as well, captaining O'Reilly against Hemming, but I would imagine that if Celtic don't score 3, then Hemming's like going to get a good score. If Celtic do score 3, then I'm going to win loads anyway. so there we go. So that's under 23s. So it's a mind boggler this week. I do know that a lot of people will not have those mind boggling choices. So unless you have like SPFL cards, then this can be quite a quiet one for you, or it's not really going to be as interesting. All-star wise, I'm not going to pick this. I've not really decided what I'm doing yet, but you do have guys like, Raphael. That's a pretty good home game for Sao Paulo. Morelos Cerquera is a really good scorer, but Botafogo are top of the league, so that's interesting. Lemos or Arana, pretty good options for home. Again, if you don't have these rare cards, then they're not actually that expensive for limited guys. Almada, I'll need to check. Midfield wise, Canales is injured, so I don't think he can play. Branko van den Boomen started today, so hoping he'll stay in there. He scored. Ajax are rotten, but PSV are a really good team, so I think the task for Ajax is to beat Volendam and start accumulating points. Majovski, really good player. Motherwell is not the easiest fixtures. Luis Suarez, excellent, absolutely superb. 100 at the weekend, but hasn't been playing the midweeks. I think they've been managing him, playing him one game about. If there's any news that Suarez might play, then might be one to pick up, just because there are strong rumours of him going to enter Miami, and everyone's saying he's got dodgy knees and everything, but I just keep looking at his scores and he's scoring goals. So if he can score goals in Brazil, he can score goals in the MLS. No offence to any MLS enthusiasts. Giacomakis, interesting selection. Avila, talked about earlier. Paradella, he's an interesting one. He's been playing a bit for Tigre, getting some game time out on loan. I think he's on loan from River still as well. I think they still own him. But you'll see here, there's not a lot of choice. There's not a lot of choice. And again, I'm not picking that team. It's just a bit of strategy discussion. So I'm going to leave it at that. That be us for midweek. And hopefully Celtic win, and we're coming back on Friday to open some rewards videos, etc. I've got the pod with MPen coming up. I'm going to be speaking to him tomorrow night, so I'm going to put a post up soon and see if there's any questions for him. We're going to have a chat about the current state of Sorare, how things are, market sentiment, where we are with things, and he's put up some quite interesting Medium posts recently, just highlighting some figures and things. So I just want to chat with him about that, and I'll pick any topical questions from what you're saying as well. So anyways, thanks very much for listening again. If you've got to the end of this, if you're playing midweek, good luck and go fuck. Come on the hoops. Come on the hoops.